Hello and welcome to my vintage audiophile channel. This is now my 47th video, and today I'm going to be reviewing a Technics RS-M-231X cassette deck. It was produced around 82-83 at the height of the cassette technology that was out there. It is a really nice cassette deck. As you can see, it's in pretty much mint condition. Technics has a long history of making very good stuff, especially in the early days. Later on, they kind of got mediocre, but this was still during their heyday, as you might want to call it. It is an analog type of cassette deck with the analog tape counter. It has Dolby B, C, and DBX, and it has push button controls instead of the old-fashioned lever style. As you can see, it has pretty much kind of the same type of stuff that you would find on your standard cassette deck. It has your power and your eject. And it has your 3-digit analog tape counter with a reset here to reset it back to 0. When you put it on pause, you can do fast forward or reverse for cue to find your previous or next track. It has your play and record, pause and stop, and your separate buttons for Dolby B or Dolby C, and a button to turn it on or off. It has your DBX here, either for tape or disc. Input level for recording, balance so that you can keep the recording levels balanced if it isn't. It has normal, chromium dioxide, and metal tape selectors, and it has 2 quarter-inch jacks for adding external mics if you want to record something live, plus a headphone jack. This is back in the era when that stuff was still kind of standard on cassette decks. Later on, that kind of all disappeared as they realized that people weren't really using those features much anymore. But this one has it, and it has a very large oversized DC motor in it, so it makes it a very strong unit. It has a 2-head design with a really robust tape transport. It does have an indicator here that lights up when you are recording so that you know you're recording, and also this lights up DBX when you push in the DBX so you know that that's on. The meters on here are the old-fashioned analog needle meters that sweep back and forth, which I like. It's better than just having bars or something that they went with later on down the road. This cassette deck does work, and it works really well. The back of it just has your standard input and outputs RCAs for plugging it into a stereo system, and then of course your power cord, and not really much else on the back. But then there really doesn't need to be anything else on the back. Later on, when they started getting fancy with things, they'd add like an 1/8 inch jack to plug into your stereo so that you could control the tape deck with a compatible remote. But that was this one is before that time. It is a really good cassette deck, and can't say enough good things about it. These days, because cassettes have kind of fallen out of fashion, you can get them fairly cheap if you happen to be looking for one and you want to buy one. You can get them anywhere from $25 to $75 depending upon condition and whether there's any issues on it or not, which for a component is pretty decent price. But they are tanks, and they will last you forever. But the only thing you never will have to worry about going wrong with these things is the rubber belts that drive the motors and stuff like that, or drive the capstan. They will wear out eventually, especially if you don't use it very often. It'll kind of deteriorate, but otherwise, and those are usually pretty cheap to buy. You can buy them all day long on some of the auction sites. You know, all the belts you need for the thing for less than $10, and they're usually pretty easy to replace yourself. So that is my short dissertation on this particular model. Wish I could tell you more about it, but it is, like I say, pretty standard for the day. It does have a few extra little doodads here and there that some of them didn't have, but which makes it a little higher end model. But cassette decks are cassette decks, and they do what they do, and they do it well. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please leave any kind of feedback that you would like to leave, or questions that you may have, and I'll get back to you and answer any questions you may have. And until next time, have a great day, stay safe, and I will see you next in my video 48. Thank you. Bye-bye.